to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
Pastor Chris Oyakhilom's nephew Desmond breaks silence over suspension. Desmond Oyakhilom Waghiran, nephew to Pastor Chris Oyakhilom, has broken his silence over his suspension from work at Christ Embassy. Pastor Oyakhilom had suspended his nephew as the president of Love World Next and Love World Innovation for allegedly being involved in partisan politics. According to Oyakhilom, this man, Oyakhilom Waghiran, is hereby removed from being president of Love World Next and Love World Innovations and also suspended from all official roles for acts of gross misconduct. So he no longer handles all of that. I'm putting him under a spiritual rehabilitation program from now with immediate effect. But Desmond has reacted to his suspension, saying it is a blessing to be corrected by one's father. He said for several days, he had been asked by many news agencies and big media to say something regarding the very interesting happenings in the past weeks. If not for the names involved, I would very much remain silent. Where I come from, sons do not fight with fathers, it is a curse. You just have to believe that they see what you do not see and trust in their process. If all Jesus saw was the death on the cross, he would have missed the bigger picture of the resurrection. Everyone had to see him die to end all debate on his resurrection. If he hadn't died, his divinity would still be up for debate. Point made. God does not hide his love even when it's the tough kind, he said. Desmond added that it was unfair to have been given more opportunities than almost anyone in your generation and not expect to be more challenged than almost anyone in your generation. If you didn't have a future ahead of you, the Lord wouldn't provide you the tools and people to solidify your character and person. More so, we were raised to defend the actions and guidance of our fathers no matter what and see the value in it. You can never go wrong for it. If you loved the teacher when he provided you with knowledge, do not love him less when he presents you with an examination. You cannot tell a father how to raise his son. If he didn't think I could take it, then he wouldn't have done it. For those of you having mixed reactions, note that there were fathers who took their sons to a mountain to offer as a burnt offerings to the Lord in the Bible. One sent him to a cross. Aren't you glad I didn't end up as one of those two? It is a blessing to be corrected by your father. A father is the greatest gift to your future. For those suggesting that I share my personal opinions on how I feel I should have been treated and share my views, hoping to politicize this, I am too afraid to lay my hand on the Lord's anointed. God forbids. Plus, it felt interesting to have been the most searched person in the world for 1 week. I didn't know my matter had this much influence, dethroning Big Brother from net space. I am wise enough to see God's favor in his process, he stated.
Now, for those of you that probably are hearing this for the very first time, you are hearing for the first time that Pastor Chris Oyakhilom suspended his nephew, who happens to be the Christ Embassy youth president, over an alleged endorsement of the APC presidential flag bearer, Shiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. Even though that Pastor Chris, in his reaction and announcing the suspension, never made mention of the reasons why his nephew, Desmond Oyakhilom, was suspended. In his words, this is what Pastor Chris said.
Right? Not everybody saying that just because some other people are doing it, then you start doing it too and misbehaving. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 18 says, "Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying." Have you seen that? Should I read it again? It says, "Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying." So if he's crying, he says, don't change your mind. Take actions. Did you see that? Why there is hope, so you don't destroy him. If you look at that very verse in the NIV, you'll be surprised what it says. Look at it in NIV. It says, "Discipline your children for in that there is hope. Do not be a willing party to their death. Because if you don't correct them, they're going to go in the wrong direction. And it's certain death. Now, for the Love World Next and Love World Innovations, which are part of our youth organizations, the one who has been president of Love World Next and Love World Innovations, Desmond Oyakilome Wokire, is hereby removed from being president of Love World Next and Love World Innovations, and also suspended from all official roles for acts of gross misconduct. Gross misconduct. So he no longer handles any of that, and I'm putting him under spiritual rehabilitation. He has to go through a spiritual rehabilitation program from now with immediate effect. Such misconduct is unacceptable.
So that is it for you people. That is the news. But just like I said, that Pastor Chris Oyakilome did not actually make mention of why his nephew was suspended, only that he kept mentioning gross misconduct. But there was a photo of his nephew allegedly on the same poster, or is it an handbill, with the national flag bearer, the presidential flag bearer of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where there are other men in the picture, and he himself happens to be one of them. So we know what Pastor Chris stands for when it comes to the politicking in this country that is so dirty. The politicking in this country is very dirty, and if it is true that his nephew is showing some signs of endorsing Ahmed Tinubu, who happens to be a Muslim and is also having a running mate that is a Muslim, well, we will get to see. But he has just responded, and that I played to you now was the reason why he was suspended. Thank you very much. Let's know what you think about the video in the comment section. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, from me to you. Shalom, shalom, shalom.